Hello, this video is going to show you how to effectively use some ebooks from the university's collections. We use a number of different platforms and I'm going to show you examples of the two main ones. So we're going to start with Dawson Era. Now this is a Dawson Era ebook. I've searched for it in Summon. And normally I would be asked for my university login before I could access the book, but as I've already accessed it, that's not happening. So I've got two options here. I can download or read online. We always suggest read online. Now, before I go into it, I've got an option here to add this to my bookshelf. So this might be useful if it's a book that I think I'm going to want to refer to constantly throughout my course, because it will put that on my bookshelf for me. Other ways of quickly accessing this book again without having to search through Summon would be to save the URL in your favourites, bookmark it, or even add it to a Word document. So I'm now going to access the book and we'll look at some of the options. So usually you get taken to the front cover of the book and there's usually an option to search the book cover to cover. So you can read it literally page by page. You will also have browse and search options. So we've got the option here to browse the table of contents. We can open up sections to view more detail. So we could look at the section on assignment planning and just start reading from here. We can be a little bit more particular. We can choose to search for a word or phrase within the whole of the book. So this can sometimes be very useful, especially if your word or phrase doesn't appear in the index. So we are going to use the phrase critical thinking. If you use a phrase, it's usually best to put double quotation marks around it to make sure the words link together. So we've got 8 results here, and I can click on any of these and be taken straight to the page. And you can see where my search terms have been highlighted. If I like, I've got a notes option here that I can use. So I can click on this option and add a note, which I've previously done actually. Useful summary of critical thinking. If I wanted to add another, I would add something else in here, etc. Save and close the note, and that's now been updated. I can export the notes just by using this feature here. So this will download it into a Word document for me. And when I open this up, it will have details of the book, the page number, and what I've noted down. So you have an example there. So other things that I can do is I can copy sections using this button here. It gives me information about what my allowance is, and I've got various options there. I can also choose to print, and again it tells me I can print up to 49 books. Once I've printed a page, I can print it again without affecting the remaining allowance. However, once I've printed up to 49 pages, even if I log out and log in again, it will remember that I've already reached my allowance. So those are the main options for using Dawson Era. If I wanted to see my bookshelf without going into a particular book, what I could do is from the A to Z of the eResources page, I could search for the Dawson Era collection. And here it will give me details of what's on my bookshelf and what I've recently viewed. So I don't need to actually be looking at a specific book to find that information. I can just go to the whole collection and it will give me that information. So that's Dawson Era. What we're going to look at now is a eBook Central ebook example. So I've found an example here, doing a summon search. I'm now going to access the book. And again, I've got options for online reading or full download, and we always recommend online reading. So I'm going to click online reading. And here again, I've got an option to add it to my bookshelf. So this is what I've currently got on my bookshelf. That book is already on there. So let's just go and search the book. So again, we've got the front cover, we've got a table of contents which we can browse, but we've also got a search option. So we're going to look for the phrase smoking cessation. And it shows me the sections of the book. Now where it's found content is being marked here. So I'm looking at the chapters where there's a lot of content, and I'm going to open up that chapter so I can be directed to the page. So if I look at page 64, for example, or 76 rather, this is where smoking cessation has been mentioned. Now at this point, I've got various options up here that I can play with. One of them is I could highlight a section. So for example, that could be highlighted in yellow. I could bookmark this page. I could add a note to the page. Useful summary, save that. So if I wanted to revisit my annotations, I have a section here. This star will show where I have annotated it. So I've bookmarked it, I've added a note, and I've highlighted it. So other options are, obviously there's going to be a print option, which will again show me what pages I can print, how many pages I can print. And it will actually open up in a PDF for you to do the print. So basically, it's extremely similar to the Dawson Era book, and very easy to use. And again, if you want to get to books on your bookshelf, but you don't want to have to sort of search for a book first, you can go to the A to Z of eResources and have a look for the eBook Central collection. So I've gone to eBook Central, click on that. I'll probably ask you for a login at this stage, but here I've got access to my bookshelf. And I can see that that book is there, and I can see that I've annotated it. So that's just a quick overview of basic ebook searching.